The first sign you're a performing peacekeeper is that you've never once said what you actually wanted in a room full of people who are trying not to upset, not once. And by the end of this, you know exactly how deep that pattern actually runs in you. Everybody calls you easygoing, low maintenance, the reliable one, the guy who never causes drama, the one people say they can always count on no matter what. That's not a compliment, even though it's meant like one every single time you hear it. That's a role you built to survive something a long time ago, and it's been quietly costing you more than you've ever let yourself add up in one sitting. I wore that label like a badge of honor for years. I could walk into any room and read exactly what everyone in it needed to feel comfortable and hand it to them before they even had to ask for it out loud. I thought that made me a good man, a good partner, a good friend. Genuinely, I was proud of it. I'd tell people about it like it was a strength. Underneath it, though, I was exhausted in a way I couldn't fully explain to anyone, including myself, and quietly resentful of people who had never actually done anything wrong to me. I didn't have language for why, because on paper, I was doing everything right. Nobody complains about the guy who's easy to be around. I didn't even complain about it to myself, not out loud, not in a journal, nowhere at all. It just sat there, building for years while I kept calling it kindness the whole time, right up until it wasn't sustainable anymore. 5 signs you're the performing peacekeeper. By the end of this, you'll know exactly which of these you're running right now, why your body built it in the first place, and what it's actually been costing you every single day it's stayed unnamed. Somebody asks you what you want, where to eat, what you'd prefer, how you'd actually feel about something that matters, and you go blank. I'm easy. Whatever works, doesn't matter to me either way. You probably said some version of that 1,000 times over and over again throughout the years, and most people read it as flexibility, as being a low-key and chill. It isn't that. That's a nervous system that decided a long time ago, usually long before you even consciously remember the decision being made, that wanting things out loud was genuinely dangerous. Maybe it got dismissed when you were tired. Maybe it got mocked, even gently. Maybe it just got ignored so consistently, so many times in a row, that you eventually stopped bothering to voice it at all. So your system did the efficient thing. It stopped generating the want in the first place, or at the very least stopped letting it surface anywhere someone else could see it and react to it. The cost is that you slowly lose access to your own preferences over time, not just around other people, alone, by yourself, with nobody watching, nobody to please. You generally stop knowing what you actually want because you've spent years and years practicing not looking in that direction at all. You don't get mad, not visibly, not loudly, not in a way anyone around you would ever notice or point to. You get quiet instead, and that quiet gets mistaken by everyone, including you, for peace. It isn't peace at all, it's anger with nowhere to go. So it goes inward instead, into your body somewhere, into a low simmer of irritation you can't quite locate or name, into the story you tell yourself later about how it wasn't really a big deal anyway. Real peace does not require you to constantly manage what you're actually feeling underneath the surface of it. This does every single time without exception. And the longer anger has nowhere real to go, the more it inevitably leaks out sideways instead, in passive comments you didn't fully mean to make, in sudden unexplained distance from people you actually care about, in a kind of bone-deep tiredness that doesn't match how little you've physically done that day. Notice if that one landed. No judgment, just notice. You feel the tension in a room before a single word even gets said out loud. Someone's mood shifts by a small margin and you're already recalibrating, already moving to smooth it over, already adjusting your own tone and posture to match whatever will keep things calm and even. People call this emotional intelligence, and they mean it as a compliment. It isn't really that, not in that way that you think. Real emotional intelligence is a choice you make consciously in the moment with awareness of what you're doing and why. This is a closer to, let's say, hypervigilance, wearing a nice suit, a skill you built early in life because it genuinely wasn't safe not to have it available at all times in every room you walked into. Somewhere at some point, you may not even remember clearly being able to sense a shift in mood before it escalated into something worse was how you kept yourself okay. That skill never actually got the memo to turn off once the danger passed. It just got dressed up over the years as a personality trait, something people compliment you on at work or in your friend group, when really it's your nervous system still running a constant background scan. It's never once been given permission to stop running. You give constantly your time, your attention, your energy, your honest opinions softened down to whatever version is easiest for someone else to hear without pushback. And you give so the room stays calm, so nobody ends up upset with you. So the temperature in any given interaction never actually rises past comfortable. Real generosity comes from overflow. You have more than enough of something, so naturally you share it with the people around you without it costing you anything real. This isn't that. Even though it looks identical from a distance to anyone watching, this is preemptively managing other people's emotional state so that your own never have to be dealt with by anyone, including you, ever. It looks exactly like generosity from the outside. It feels completely different from the inside to you in a quiet moments that come after. One fills you up over time. The other quietly empties you out, transaction by transaction, while looking to everyone single observer exactly like kindness. Every single time you say yes when you actually meant no, some part of you takes note of it. It doesn't forget ever, not one instance of it. It just doesn't say anything about it yet. And it adds up quietly, invisibly, over months and then years, until you're a grown man walking around genuinely resentful of people who never even knew, not for a second, that they were being resented. Because the no never actually got said out loud in the first place. Not once, not one time. They think everything between you is fine. Most days you think everything is fine too. And you'd probably say so if someone asked. But underneath both of those surface level readings, there's a ledger running somewhere that neither of you has actually looked at directly. Not yet, and it doesn't stay quiet forever. Real quick, before we go any further, if a few of these 5 are landing for you right now, the Rebuild Tracker is a genuinely good place to start rebuilding honesty within yourself, day to day, instead of trying to do it all at once. It's free, and it tracks the fundamentals: your sleep, your movement, how you're actually connecting with people around you, not just being physically present near them, the small daily stuff that starts loosening a pattern like this one over time. Links below if you want it. Let's finish this. Here's the part that actually changes everything, so stay with me for this one. Self-abandonment doesn't prevent wound from activating. It reactivates it every single time you practice it, without fail. Every time you shrink yourself down to keep a room comfortable for everyone else, you're not actually protecting yourself from the original wound. You're reteaching your own nervous system the exact same lesson that created this whole pattern in the first place, which is that who you actually are in full isn't fully welcome here. This doesn't heal by managing it more quietly, by getting even better at the performance over time, more polished, more seamless. It heals by you finally showing up as the full unmanaged version of yourself and discovering, often for the very first time in your adult life, that the room can actually hold that version of you. Most of the time, it genuinely can. And the people who can't really hold it were never actually receiving the real you to begin with. They were receiving the performance the whole time, which means you were never fully known by them, regardless of how much you gave them. So this is where the real work actually starts, bringing the true unmanaged self into your relationships deliberately, on purpose, even in the moments it feels uncomfortable to do it. I'll be honest with you about this part because I think you deserve the honest version instead of the easy one. When I started doing this myself, some relationships didn't survive the shift. That scared me at one time more than I expected it going in. But the ones that did survive became the first relationships in my entire life where I actually felt known. Not liked because I was convenient and easy to have around, but known because I finally let myself be seen without editing it down first. That's not selfish, even though it might feel that way the first few times you try it out loud. That's sovereignty, and sovereignty, not the performance of being endlessly agreeable, is what actually makes real connection possible in the first place for you and for the people you're actually trying to be close to. If you're ready to do this work alongside others who are done performing and ready to build something real together, please subscribe to my channel and like or comment whatever you'd like to see on this channel or what you'd like to learn. I'm excited to be building this community. I'm Ty Rising. It's been a pleasure. If it's to be, it's up to you.